Now, from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather tonight. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, well, TGIF and good Friday evening, everybody. After a long week of North Texas weather, including a winter storm, we are looking forward to the weekend. We're looking forward to some better weather. But before we get there, we've got one more weather speed bump we're going to have to get through as we go through this evening and tonight. Some bitterly cold temperatures, teens and 20s. We're talking about some refreezing around the area, black ice, and even the opportunity of some freezing fog. I want to talk about that and then also talk about the good weather to come over the next few minutes as well. Now, Friday night, Friday evening here, again, if you are trying to make any plans, maybe trying to venture out at all, by about 8 p.m., we do basically get back down to the freezing mark, then quickly go below freezing. So again, black ice, again, will be possible to likely around the area, even as we get into the evening. So really factor that in, again, if you're even trying to venture out. So these were actual observed snowfall amounts, meaning actually measured. And the big winner out of everything was a very small little community just south of Lake Texoma called Knollwood, and they measured 11 inches of snow. Other locations along the Red River Valley, 7 to right around 8. Northern sides of the Metroplex, Denton and Collin County, 5.5 to 6. Dallas, Tarrant County, about 2 to 4.5. So really kind of stair-step those totals down. Again, obviously, the further to the south you go. So where is the weather maker that, again, brought us all the active weather yesterday? Well, look how far to the east it's made it through the day. Again, we're talking about the deep south. Atlanta's had some snow. They've also got some freezing rain building in. And then you have to look well off to the north, up through parts of the Midwest, ongoing snow. But again, yes, as we mentioned, this is really moving at a high rate of speed as it was leaving North Texas. And all that precipitation is going to actually even try and move off the coast as we go through the overnight. So again, that storm system, again, really accelerating there off to the east, but in its wake behind it, locally here in North Texas, we will have clearing skies through the evening and the overnight. And again, those clearing skies, clear skies overnight, again, especially locations that have snow on the ground, it's going to set us up for optimal cooling. And again, like I mentioned, those temperatures tonight, they are going to crash. And again, it will be dangerous. We'll show you those numbers again coming up momentarily. So there's the dip. That's the actual storm trough. Again, you can see it also translating through the region. But again, the bottom line, it continues to push off to the east as well. As that storm system, as that storm trough pushes off to the east, what is in its wake? We're talking about our weekend. We're talking about early next week. What do you see? You don't see much, right? So I think everyone will take that. We have a fairly quiet pattern towards the end of this upcoming week. Talking about next week, about 7-10 days on down the road. Could be a significant cold front showing up. And again, maybe even an opportunity of more precipitation. Obviously, that's a long ways on down the road. And we'll keep you up to date on that as we get just a little bit closer in time. Otherwise, there we go. We clear the skies as we go through the overnight. Optimal chill down, right? We call that radiational cooling. But again, especially areas that have snow on the ground makes the cool down even more extreme, right? And so on top of that, there may be areas of fog developing with temperatures in the teens and the 20s. It's not normal fog. It's freezing fog or ice fog. So any elevated surfaces that do interact with any of the freezing fog, obviously, again, black ice on top of the refreezing could really become a problem. And I really think the further north you go from Interstate 20, the more likely it is you're going to be seeing some of that freezing fog. Teens in the north, again, where snow's on the ground. Elsewhere, a lot of lower to mid-20s. Again, like I mentioned, the 3 Ps. Make sure you're dripping your faucets, checking on people, and obviously checking on any kind of outdoor pets as well, bringing them in if at all possible. So 40s, 50s, this would be your Saturday. So after that bitterly cold start to the morning, we quickly turn the page. And in fact, we begin to thaw out. We begin to melt off what's left of the snow. It's going to be a similar story on Sunday. Take a look at that. More 40s, some 50s around the area. So it's really, after a bitterly cold start Saturday, it's a great looking weekend forecast. We like the looks of that there. Again, even as we get into early next week, we continue to pull out of the hole. Everything looking good. Maybe even some 60s by the end of this upcoming week. And then we're watching, again, the following weekend, potentially a stronger cold front, maybe a significant cold front there. And again, possibly some precipitation back in the forecast as well. So otherwise, at least the better part of the forecast is, again, as we get into Saturday and we get into Sunday. So we're tracking all of this. Of course, we'll have more as the evening rolls along. Stay with us.